Hi, it's that time again where I review what I colored for the month. And this is for the month of April. And I'm here with my coloring assistant, Paws. Say hi, Paws. He woke up from a long nap. First off, I want to start off with a couple of new purchases. This is Fairy Companions by Selena Fenech. And I found this at Bull Moose, which is unusual because I didn't think her books were available except online, either Amazon or Barnes & Noble or on her website. So I paid around $8.50 for it. I figure that's less $1 less than what it is on Amazon, plus no shipping. So this makes the sixth book of hers that I have. And, you know, just like from Amazon, the paper is really thin. So I have access to a printer now, and I printed off this coloring page. And this was done with metallic markers, gel pen, and Prismacolor Scholars. Let's see if I can get a better angle here. Yeah, is that any better? I'm still figuring out a setup here. Yeah. Okay, and next I got Jade Summers' Norse Mythology. And this book also comes with a free PDF file, which I also downloaded. And this is the second book of theirs I have. I also have Beautiful Dresses and The Greatest Hits I got free when I signed up for their newsletter. And I colored some from this one, including a whip I finished from last month. Yeah. This one I finished. The background was done with pencil, and she was done, half her skin was done with pencil, and the other half with Crayola Super Tip, shaded with various shades of red. And her dress was Crayola Super Tip. And I also did two in the book. There's Thor. I did him with Crayola markers, metallic markers, gel pen, and pencil for shading. And Loki. This was done primarily in pencil. And as you can see, that there's a lot of white showing through. So for me, I think the best course of action would be to use markers as the primary tool, and then using pencil as a, for highlighting and shading and whatnot. His skin was done with Bic peach colored marker. Oh, I gotta let the cat out. Hang on a second. From their greatest hits, I was gonna say album, book. This was originally in Victorian Fashions. Metallic markers, Crayola super tips, watercolors on the flowers, and gel pen on the hummingbird. And this one was a freebie from their new book, Ocean. And I did the fish and background with watercolor pencils. And I shaded with Faber-Castell Echo pencils. And I did one in Beautiful Dresses. And her skin I did with pencil and the background. And her clothing was done with marker and gel pen. Now this is a free download from Color by Culture. And she has her own website, and she offers a monthly freebie plus images you can download for a fee. This one was free, and I did her skin with Derwent Color Soft and her hair with the Scholar pencils. And her top, that was done with some brush markers I got from Five Below called Art 101. And the background was done with broad tip Sharpie. And this one I purchased for $1. She was having a sale on her pictures. And this one was done with pencils on the skin and hair, and the clothing was done with the brush tip markers. And I did the world. I drew that in myself and then colored it with metallic markers. I did one in this one, Art Masterpieces to Color. The one in here was a whip that I had started several months ago and then forgot about. And I found it again and finished it. This one was done in pencil. Crayola, Sevo Vivid, and the Echo pencils. And this was rendered by Marty Noble. And I did one in this one, Natural World Color and Doodle. This was done with Staedtler pencils and the background with silver metallic marker. It kind of reminds me of wrapping paper. I might use it for it someday. I did one in the Look. Yeah, this one. Now this one, the Dollar Diva She did this one on camera, and I followed along, and using similar colors, such as her jacket and the shoes. And I used Prismacolor Scholars. And for the background, I used soft pastels. Yeah. I did two in Magical Fairies by Deborah Muller. This one I did with pencils and gel pens, both Prismacolor Scholar and Premiere. Yeah, this one I did entirely with gel pen for a monthly challenge on a Colorful Lives Facebook page. I did two in Fantastic Beasts. This one I did with watercolor pencils and Sharpies and some gel pen on the writing on City Hall. And this one I did with Sharpies, Prismacolor Scholars, and the background I used this cheap watercolor paint. It's terrible, but I thought, because it's so chalky, I decided to, rather than color with it as paint, to just use it as a chalk background. And that's what I did here. I did one in A Court of Thorns and Roses. And that was this beginning page. I used Sharpies, gel pen, and Scholar pencils. I did one in Fantasy Fashions by Mingju Sun. There we go. I used Crayola markers, Scholar pencils, and soft pastel for the background. I did one in Floral Fairies. This one was done with metallic markers, Scholar pencils, and Civo Vivid, and some gel pen. I did one in the Red Queen. The background was done with Crayola Super Tips, shaded with pencil. as was their clothing done with markers. The skin and hair was pencil. And the lightning coming from her hands was done with metallic markers. I did one in the Game of Thrones. Yeah, you can see it a little better now. And this one was done with Crayola pencils, Sharpies, and gel pen. I am happy with the way that came out. And someone in the Facebook group, one of the Facebook groups, asked me how I did the veil. How did I make it so sheer? And it was already drawn that way. All I did was color lightly the background and then color over it with silver metallic. And finally, I did one from Astro Inklings. And it's Taurus for the month of April. And this is my second coloring of this. The first one I colored in the book, and I'll show you why I redid it. I wasn't happy with her nose. It looked too flat and not really defined. So that's why I redid it. And I added a little bit more definition to the nose. Noses are still a work in progress for me, but I'm getting better. And this was done mostly with the Prismacolor Scholars and some gel pen. So that's it. That's what I've colored in the month of April. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.